Okay, so another thing I want to cover is this virtual keyboard over here, which sort of tells us where our vocal notes are positioned. Okay, now let's say, for example, my vocalist had some difficulty whenever she sang a G note. So this is a G3. If we were to click on that, that tells us it's G3. Okay, now let's say she had difficulty whenever she sang a G3. All we need to do is click on G3, go over here to this note here, control click, set to perfect pitch, and it'll take a few seconds, and now all of our G3s, as you can see, have been adjusted to perfect pitch. Okay, that's great. Let's set that back to our original pitch. Control click, set to original pitch. Okay, that's great. The other thing we can do, of course, is instead of doing fine tuning, we could do coarse tuning. So we could again select our note. Let's say this time it was a D sharp. We'd click there, and all of the D sharps are now selected. And maybe if we wanted to, for example, move them up or down to the pitch or note that we desire. Okay, let's undo that. Okay, so we've covered some of the functions of the keyboard and its usefulness. We've also looked at the pitch correction slider. Now let's look at this down here, the gain slider. If I was to, for example, select this note down here, and I adjust the gain, have a look, see what happens. You see that the gain increases. Look at that. Or I can reduce the gain. Okay, let's put it back to normal. Okay, now this function is very useful, because if you needed to tidy up or clean up certain notes, maybe the vocalist came in too hard or too harsh on a particular note, you can use this gain reduction tool to actually fix the gain or volume on specific notes. And I think that's really good, because it's quite clinical, and this is when we're getting into more sort of surgical editing of our vocals. The other thing I want to show you down here is scale quantize. Okay, now this here is really interesting. If we were to highlight, in fact, let's select all, Command A, let's scroll this across, and let's have a quick listen to the original vocal.
Woke up this morning about 7:45.
Right, now if I was to go here and change this, first of all, let's choose a key, and let's move it to something like C, and let's have a listen.
Woke up this morning about 7:45.
C major. Let's try C minor, natural minor.
Woke up this morning about 7:45. But like I wanna kick myself, cause I'm gonna be late.
Alright, so you can hear some artifacts along here, but it shows you what's possible depending on the material that you're working on. You can actually use the flex pitch to position all of your notes according to the key, the scale and the mode of your music that you're working in. Okay, so that is quite a useful function. I mean, I'm not going to use it here, but it just shows you what the function does. Okay, let us switch that back to major, and let's switch this off, and everything's returned to normal. So that's quite a good thing to have a little play around with. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you right here is the time quantize. Now this is very much linked to a flex time, and what this allows you to do, let's take this note for example, and let's change our display up here to custom, and we've got a lot more information now. So we're our grid is based on a 1/16th division, so there are 16 divisions in each bar, okay, in each measure. So if I was to select that and I was to quantize this to, let's say, the nearest 16th note, hit quantize. Okay, I can adjust the strength, and as you can see, that moved slightly. So this is sort of adjusting the start position of each note. Okay, you can adjust how much, and we are stretching and repositioning the notes. So if you've got a vocal or a recording of an instrument that is sounding great, but maybe some of the notes are slightly late, or maybe even early, you can use this function with great care to adjust the position. And what's great is that you can select individual notes to adjust. So once again, I'm going to adjust this one. Let's see how much. Yeah, that one's moving as well. Okay, but I don't need to do this on this piece of audio. This is just to demonstrate, and you've got all of the usual divisions that you can choose from. Okay.